Happy Wednesday to you, everyone. I hope you're really doing well on this day, and I hope you're making some progress with your dogs as I continue to roll these videos out. Today, I want to talk about something that's really kind of important to me, and is more likely important to you. Are dogs capable of altruistic acts? Are they capable of relinquishing benefits, potential benefits to their own fitness to enhance yours? You know, that question has been very difficult for scientists to answer for many, many years, because altruistic behavior in the animal kingdom actually flows in the face, flat out in the face of natural selection. You shouldn't do that. You should be number one. Worry about me. Don't be so worried about you. Take care of my own direct fitness, not your fitness. It just flies in the face of natural selection and evolution. And yet it's there. It's there. I guess hence the creed, the absence of evidence is not evidence of an absence. Yeah. I remember 23 years ago, almost to this day, a routine traffic stop by me as a police officer suddenly and unexpectedly turned into a battle for my life. I was suddenly under attack by a large man crazed by the drugs that he was under the influence of. And next thing you know, he's grappling for my gun. And there's no doubt in my mind that had he been able to get my weapon, I may have died on that night. But suddenly, my police dog, Yager, who was a 5-year-old Belgian Malinois that I had trained, jumps out of the Jeep, flies to my aid, and immediately attacks this man with everything that he had. And the battle was on. And in the course of the battle, which lasts several minutes, this man was able to throw me off of him several times. He picked up my police dog, Yager, and hurled him with such force against his own vehicle that he immediately broke 2 of my dog's ribs. But yet Yager stayed in the fight. He kept coming. He kept coming. And eventually, with the help of 3 other police officers, this man was subdued. You know, and I've often looked back on that because you know me, I'm the forever scientist. I'm like the biologist that has to look at the world in such a natural sense. But I love dogs. And there's something deeper inside of me that just goes way beyond science. And I've looked back on those days many, 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 many times. And I've wondered if Yager had not had training, because we had rehearsed that scenario many times, in case it ever happened, and it really did happen. So I wonder, would he have come to my aid had he not been trained to do so? And I don't know, maybe it's just time, reflection, not sure. I'd certainly like to think that he would. And I believe that he did. In training, his ribs were never broken. That's extremely painful. It took him many months to heal from that wound. I'd never seen him behave the way he behaved. He was as though, if I don't give it all I have, Bryan will die. It's very emotional for me to even recall that story, as you can probably tell. So I believe that he would have sacrificed himself for me. He did. The outcome wasn't his death, nor was it mine. But he gave it all that he had. I couldn't ask for more. I couldn't ask for more from any of my friends in the military. And you can't ask for any more from anyone right now that's doing everything that they can to risk their benefits to them, to their own direct fitness, to enhance yours. You know, there are many stories of altruistic behavior in the animal kingdom. Hence why it's such a head scratcher. Why is it there? In 2009, two marine ecologists, Robert Pittman and John Durbin, were on a research vessel just off the coast of Antarctica when they observed a pod of 11 killer whales trying to attack a weddell seal that was on top of an ice floe. And there was nothing strange about that because that is typical prey, natural prey for these killer whales. And their strategy to either wash the seal off of the ice floe or to break it into pieces so that they can get at the seal is nothing strange. It's a very smart tactic. However, what was strange was the sudden appearance of two humpback whales that swam into the midst of the 11 killer whales. That's extremely unnatural. Humpback whales and killer whales are natural enemies. They are enemies. And the humpback whales were not there to eat the weddell seal because that's not what they do. They eat fish. They eat shrimp. They don't eat weddell seals. So why were they there? And they rushed in and they fought against these killer whales and they surrounded the ice floe. But eventually over time, the killer whales were able to outmaneuver the humpback whales, break the ice floe, and the seal suddenly found itself in the ocean. But before a killer whale could grab it, it swam quickly in the direction of the humpback whales, and one of them rolls over on its back, allowing the weddell seal to crawl up on its underside. And then the humpback whale swam with the seal on his belly till he got to a large ice floe that the seal was able to take refuge on. Wow. Wow. And there are many more cases of this. I did in nature when it comes to parents. Yeah, there's been more than a few adult wolves, especially mother wolves, that have virtually thrown themselves on the hand grenade when a grizzly bear tried to excavate the den holding her cubs. She immediately launched into a suicide mission to buy time for other wolves to come help, maybe return back from the hunt, do anything and everything possible to save her offspring. I get that. That's what a parent's supposed to do. The asymmetric type benefits that they apply. We hunt, we endure the danger of the hunt, we endure the danger of guarding the den, while you puppies get free food, free safety from us. I get that. What I'm talking about is post-rearing of the offspring. I'm talking about when you don't know this individual, when there is no kin selection, when they're not family. It's been proven through eusociality and many other studies that a man is more likely to throw himself on a grenade for a brother than he is for a third cousin. Being familiar and kin selection plays heavily into it. Yager knew me very well up to that moment on that hot August night in 1997. He's probably spent more time with me than anyone else over the previous 3 years. He was very familiar with me. But I wasn't his offspring. He wasn't mine. I wasn't even his species. And yet he did more than any training that I conducted with him. Way more. So it's a head scratcher. And I think the only way we can get to the bottom of this thing is by partitioning it, breaking it down into fundamental pieces. And we're going to do that tomorrow. Otherwise, I'd be here for another hour trying to talk to you guys. And not that we're going to be here for an hour tomorrow. But I want to break this thing down because this thing deserves that. It deserves that kind of due diligence. It deserves discussion. So I invite you between now and tomorrow to send me any example that your dogs to you have portrayed or performed acts that are very altruistic. Send them to me. I'd love to be able to share them tomorrow. But no matter what, tomorrow we're going to break this thing down to a little bit of a periodic table. We're going to put some science behind it and see if we can uncover a few of the natural reasons why that would prompt the behavior of animals like killer whales or humpback whales to save an animal that, why? Why? It's part of life. Whale seals get eaten by killer whales. Killer whales don't come bug you when you're trying to eat shrimp, but it happens, and it did happen. So let's break it down, see what we can figure out, and at the end of the day, hey, if anything, you walk away from it going, I have more reason to want to do whatever I can to preserve this relationship with you. That's all I'm trying to do is just give you one more reason. Before you hit that rehome button, before you hit that go to the shelter or rescue button, just one more little area for thought, reflection. That's what life is. All right, guys, I enjoyed this moment with you. Appreciate you allowing me to share this little personal story with you about my police dog, Yager. He has since passed from this world, as you can imagine. But he's not passed from me, and my thoughts and my heart, just like many of your dogs have for you. And if they've done anything altruistic for you, any of them, past, present, let me know about it, okay? Help me affirm what I believe dogs are really capable of doing, even though it makes no sense whatsoever. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe.